This podcast is part of a series of podcasts designed to help you prepare for the next exam diet. In this podcast, we will look at different revision techniques and how you could use them to prepare for your next exam. We will also discuss the importance of having a revision timetable and discuss an example of a timetable. Now, let's think about the best way for you to revise. If you haven't already done so, it might be beneficial to set up a study group with some classmates to go over topics and discuss them together. Some of you may have a firm grasp of a topic that others don't, and you can really help each other by sharing your knowledge. Also, it can be good to meet up just to realise you're not alone, as studying can be a very solitary activity. You could also summarise your notes onto index cards with just the main ideas there as prompts. Or you could put stickers all over your house with different information on them leading up to the exam. You could also consider using a different room for each topic, thereby making associations between that topic and the room. This may help you when trying to recall information later, as you can picture yourself in that room studying that topic, and hopefully the information will come back to you. You could try using colours, songs and smells to help you remember, as your brain forms associations between those things. For example, there are certain smells and songs that remind you of people and places. You could adopt this approach for your study. You could even try making up little songs to remind you of certain facts, as think of how much songs and adverts stick in your mind. You could also try explaining a theory or topic to someone. This helps you check your understanding of the topic, and explaining it to someone else combines both accuracy and fluency, which you can then translate from speaking to writing in an exam. You could also answer past paper questions, as this lets you see the type of questions and the wording used in an exam. You could complete this under exam conditions, timing yourself. Then you can look over your answer with your study notes and check for any gaps in knowledge that you can fill in. The same method won't work for everyone, so try some different methods to see what works for you. Another revision technique that you may find useful is the use of mind maps. These are a very visual way to remind yourself of how topics link together. The idea is that you have a main theme, topic or idea in the centre, and then work out from there, linking ideas together with a few words or pictures. This is a very basic example, with a main topic in the centre, main points about the topic shooting off from it, and then sub-points coming off from that. These maps can be as simple or as complicated as you want to make them. If using pictures and colours to map out themes works better for you, then you can personalise your map however you see fit. Mind maps can be a really useful tool, as once you've made one, you can add to it and make more links very easily when revising, and you can also find information very quickly. Having a revision timetable is very important. If you don't have a timetable, your study pattern can end up being very erratic, and you may not get to cover all the material you need to. As you can see in this timetable, this student has split up the different topics they will study over 1 to 2 hour slots with breaks in between. Break up the material into sections so that it's more manageable. Do not try and cover several different topics and themes at once, as this may lead to stress and confusion. This student has also included other things in their day-to-day lives, such as work and family time. It's important to include this information so that you have a really realistic picture of how much time you have to fit each subject in. It can also be very satisfying when you do stick to your timetable, as you have a visual representation of all the hard work that you're putting in. It can also be useful to put a copy of this up where others in your home can see it, so that they know when they can and cannot disturb you. This podcast has hopefully shown you some different techniques you could consider when undertaking your revision. The next podcast in the series will look more at exam preparation and common errors that markers find in exams.